Hello everyone, I'm back with another chapter of Geography, Class 6, NCERT. Chapter 5, Major Domains of the Earth. In this chapter, we will speak about the three main components of the environment. They are the lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. So what is lithosphere? The solid portion of the Earth on which we live is called the lithosphere. In simple terms, lithosphere is nothing but the rocky bed that lies beneath your foot. Similarly, the gaseous layer that surrounds the Earth is called atmosphere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Last, hydrosphere. By the name you can figure out it's related to water. The hydrosphere comprises all forms of water, that is ice, water and water vapor. Now combining all of the three forms something called biosphere. The biosphere is nothing but the combination of land, water and air, which contains all forms of life. So with this sentence, all forms of life, we mean all the living organisms that are there on planet Earth. Now let's read about lithosphere. As we read, the solid portion of the Earth is called lithosphere, and it is also nothing but the Earth's crust. So if you see, Earth is divided into three layers. The innermost middle layer is called the core, where you will find lava, and above that you have the mantle, and then you have the crust. So lithosphere is nothing but the crust. So when it comes to Earth's surface, it is divided into two major land masses, that is the continent and then the ocean basin. Remember, ocean basin is also a land mass, because if you see places like Antarctica and places near Arctic Circle, everything is of icy state. So if everything is of ice, it will be solid, rock solid, right? On that you will find living organisms like penguin and other sea creatures surviving on it. Coming to the second page, we can see a good large world view in the map. So as you can see, all the water, all the oceans are interconnected. So we roughly have 5 oceans, and that is Pacific, Atlantic, Arctic, Indian and Southern Ocean. So remember this. Coming to page 3, the highest mountain peak is Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meters above the sea level. And the depth, that is the altitude that is going in minus, that is going down, is recorded as 11,022 meters at Mariana Trench in Pacific Ocean. So the depth of Pacific Ocean is 11,022. Just think about it. It is much higher than the height of Everest. Now let's read about continents. So we have 7 continents, and they are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Let's go through each one of them briefly. Asia is the largest continent. Tropic of Cancer passes through the continent. Remember that Tropic of Cancer also passes through India, and India is in Asia. So remember that. And Asia is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains. So if we go back to the map in the second page, this is the Asia in yellow part, and then you have the purple color called Europe, and between them there's a red strip called Ural Mountain. If you're having trouble in remembering this Ural Mountain, just remember the spelling of it, and it starts with U, and U is also found in Europe. So therefore the mountain that divides Asia and Europe is Ural Mountain. Coming to Europe, Europe is much smaller, and part of Arctic Circle also passes through it, and it is also bound by water bodies on 3 sides. So if we look at the map again, so Europe is surrounded by water bodies 3 sides. That is the Arctic Ocean on top, and you have the Atlantic Ocean towards the left side, and then you have the sea, Mediterranean Sea, and behind it is the full part of Asia. So 1, 2 and 3. Coming to Africa, Africa is the second largest continent. Yeah, look at the size of this continent, this green color continent. It is the second largest after Asia. So one thing that we need to remember is it is also the only continent through which Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn pass. There you see these 3 lines, these are passing through Africa, and no other continent will have all the 3 coming in straight. And this continent also has the Sahara Desert, which is the world's largest hot desert, and it also hosts the world's longest river, Nile. Now let's go to North America. It is the third largest continent of the world, and it has a small linkage between South America. So this place where the linkage happens is called isthmus. And if you see the map, again North America is also surrounded by three oceans. That is the Pacific, Atlantic and Arctic. Coming to page 4, South America. So it lies in the southern hemisphere, where two oceans surround it on the east and west. And another point of fact is the longest chain of mountains is over there, which is called the Andes. So again, if you go back to the map and you see the South American continent, there you see this huge long chain of mountains that is there in their western shoreline. So this is nothing but the Andes mountain. This is the longest chain of mountain anywhere. And South America also has the world's largest river. Remember, it's the world's largest river, not the longest river. Largest river is Amazon and longest river is Nile. Now coming to Australia, it is the smallest continent that lies entirely in southern hemisphere. Now have a look at Australia, that is pink in color. It is the smallest continent by water everywhere. Okay, so this is also called the island continent. The only island continent is Australia. And the last continent, Antarctica, which is completely in the southern hemisphere, and it is a huge continent. It's all ice rock. In fact, South Pole lies almost at the center of it, and nobody stays there permanently. People just go there for research purposes. Scientists go there to conduct some kind of research, and again they come back. And hence many countries have their research stations over there. So the two famous research stations of India that is there in Antarctica, and they are Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Remember this, Dakshin Gangotri and Maitri. So coming to the next topic, hydrosphere. The Earth is called the blue planet. More than 71% of the Earth is covered with water and 29% is with land. So just remember this ratio, 71:29. As we have read in the first page, hydrosphere consists of water in all of its form, that is the regular water, ice and water vapor. So where all can we see water? Water is just not available in ocean, lakes and sea. It is also available underground. And then we have the glaciers that melt, and the water vapor that is there in the atmosphere. So these all account for the entire hydrosphere. You just cannot say hydrosphere means ocean or sea or any kind of river. It comprises of everything. So hence now we can say more than 97% of the Earth's water is found in the ocean. So as human we cannot drink the ocean water as it's too salty. So we hugely rely on glaciers because when they melt they produce fresh water, and also underground water which is available in very small percentage. Page 5. So in this picture you can see the block diagram of the entire continent. So it's easy to remember 7 continents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you can also see the size of it and easily figure out which is small and which is the largest one. So in this page the main topic is oceans. Oceans are the major part of hydrosphere. They are all interconnected. So if you see that block diagram, you can see all the blue color that is there behind. It is all ocean and they are somehow interconnected. You can see a nice puzzle sort of a thing, and you can make your way inside the land masses and connect all the water together. So roughly, let's just read about ocean. What does it mean? The three chief movements of ocean waters are waves, tides and ocean currents. So waves are nothing but those small movement of water, and tides are the bigger version of waves. Tides can go up to 7 meters, 10 meters and more than that. And waves are nothing but the smaller version of distributed water flow. And then we have the huge part that is called the ocean current. It is much bigger than waves and tides. Ocean currents are also the reason behind tornadoes and heavy storm, thunderstorm. So as we have read, there are 5 major oceans, which is the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic, Indian, Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. And we have also read the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. And few facts if you're interested. These are, it is 1/3 of the Earth. Pacific Ocean is 1/3 of the Earth. Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the Earth. lies in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape, etc. etc. Coming to the Atlantic Ocean, it is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped, and it is also one of the major source of commerce, trade and commerce. Most of the ships pass through Atlantic Ocean in order to do trades with the European nations and other African continents, and moving on to Asia, America and South America. The Indian Ocean is only the ocean named after a country, that is India. Rest other oceans are independent, and the Southern Ocean encircles the continent Antarctica completely. It surrounds that continent. And again, the Arctic Circle is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. It is also connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water. So this term Bering Strait. So Bering Strait is also of huge importance because that is the final point. The day ends and day starts. So if you see this small portion over here, the Bering Strait lies over there. Yes. So if it is if it is night, sorry, if it is 1 o'clock at North America, there it will be 1 o'clock in the morning. So coming to the next topic, atmosphere. The Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas called the atmosphere. And if you see this picture on the right side, you can see the different layers of atmosphere. First comes troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So you can easily remember this by TSMTE or anything. You can use some kind of mnemonics. So always remember this. Troposphere is the inside layer of atmosphere within the Earth circular path. So it is also the layer at which a plane flies. So it is well within reach. And then comes the stratosphere, where you can see the comets, and then mesosphere, where rockets are launched, and thermosphere, where the satellites are launched. So this is how you can remember the layers of the atmosphere. So what is the importance of atmosphere? It's a thin blanket of air that surrounds the Earth's surface, and it provides us with air we breathe and protects us from the harmful effects of sun rays. We cannot directly consume the sun rays because it contains a lot of harmful rays such as UV rays, etc., which can burn our skin, which can give us skin disease, etc. So there's a thin layer of gas that surrounds the Earth, and it acts like a blanket. So that is what is atmosphere. So the atmosphere extends up to a height of 1600 kilometer. Remember this, 1600 kilometer is the height of atmosphere. Then atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on composition, temperature and other properties. So we just read about the layers of atmosphere, remember? So these layers are nothing but these: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. And the two important gases that are there in atmosphere are nitrogen and oxygen. Remember this. And they together make up to 98% of the clean dry air. Nitrogen is 78% and oxygen is 21%. And other gases like carbon dioxide, argon and other comprises 1% by volume. Because if they are more, then we wouldn't be able to breathe. So carbon dioxide is very minute, you know that, because most of the trees, they give out oxygen and they take in carbon dioxide during daytime. So quickly, let's just cover the atmosphere part. It is a thin layer. It is a thin layer of gas which surrounds the Earth for not only human beings. It is also essential for growth of plants. So it protects all the organism, not just human being. So it is very crucial for us to preserve our atmosphere. Now coming to page number 7. The density of atmosphere varies with height, which is true. The density of atmosphere varies with height. It gets maximum at the sea level and decreases rapidly. Remember, going down increases, going up decreases. And the temperature also increases as we go up. That's why a lot of the mountaineer, when they go on a trekking or any kind of summit, so they have to carry oxygen cylinder so that they can breathe. So always remember, the movement of air is always high pressure to low pressure. Wherever there is high pressure, the winds move away from there. So high pressure is seen at oceans, at ocean bed, and hence it gets passed to a low pressure area. Low pressure is nothing but the land mass, and that is why we see a lot of storm coming towards the land area. If there is a storm which is building up on some ocean, immediately it will be passed to the nearest landmass or continent, and that is how we see the change of weather, and it's raining or thunderstorm, etc. Coming to the last topic, biosphere. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the land, water and air. So this is very important. The combination where land, water and air comes together is called biosphere. It is this zone that life that is unique to this planet exists. So have a look at this picture. You will easily understand the meaning of biosphere. If you can see every single thing that is there in this picture, you will not need any kind of a textual definition. You can easily understand what is biosphere. It has this sky over there, and then it has this water and all these water organism, and then it has the lithosphere, the land mass and all the organism that lives on planet Earth. So everything together comprises of biosphere. So here is a good definition of biosphere. Species of organism that vary in size from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals. All the living organisms including humans are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. So this sentence broadly means that everything that is available and that can breathe are together form biosphere. So in this last line, when it says the biosphere for survival, it means, remember Darwin's theory of survival, the fittest will survive. That's why you see big fishes eating the smaller one and then we eating the fish. So everything is a biosphere. So just think of it this way. The plants are grown into a tree, then the leaves and fruit they fall down, and then small organisms such as caterpillar or earthworm, they eat the leaves, alright, and decayed leaves, and then those small organisms, when they die, they get flushed away with rainwater to the river, and when it gets flushed away to the river, the water organisms such as fishes, small fishes, big fishes, they eat them, and then we catch those fish and we eat them. So you can just imagine that how this entire circle forms a biosphere. So that is the entire definition of biosphere. So this chapter was all about this. I hope you understood this chapter easily, and let's go through the exercise questions briefly. First question, what are the four major domains of the Earth? So we read about this. The four major domains of Earth are lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Name the major continents of the Earth. So there are 7 continents, so you can just name all of them. The largest continent is Asia, followed by Africa and then North America. Name the 2 continents that lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. So the 2 continents that lies completely in the southern hemisphere are Antarctica and Australia. Africa and South America have a little portion of it in northern hemisphere. Name the different layers of atmosphere. So let's quickly remember how we read about it. The first is I'm really sorry about that. So let's quickly go through the layers of atmosphere. Troposphere, and then stratosphere, and then mesosphere and thermosphere. Last is exosphere. So exosphere can be easily remembered as exit, EX, because let's read it as exit, that is the exit, the last layer, and it starts with tropo, let's read it as tropical, a good nice greenery around, hence it is the beginning, so it is close to the planet Earth. Let's think of it as tropical, tropico, something like that. And then comes strata. So strata, all those dots that form strata, and there you can see all the shooting stars, asteroid, etc. And then come meso. So meso is nothing but heavy, in terms of like mesosphere, like meso body, heavy body, and heavy body such as rockets go in that layer. And then thermo is the heat. So we can easily remember that. So before exiting, let's go through the heat one. So thermosphere, like that. Fifth question, why is the Earth called the blue planet? 75% of it comprises of water. More than 75% comprises of water, and 99% is ocean water, which is salty, and hence this is called blue planet. Sixth question, why is the northern hemisphere called the land of hemisphere? It is called the land of hemisphere because most of the continents lie in northern hemisphere. That is why it is called the land of hemisphere. Why is the biosphere important for living organism? So we read about this, right? So it is nothing but, you can write it in your words, something like everything is interconnected. There is a big chain, and it follows from a small plant to a big human being or a mammal. So everything is interlinked. So biosphere is very important because if one thing gets affected, the change or the consequences can be seen in the other. And you can give few examples like deforestation, and how I explained about the food system, how things get decayed and eaten by one sector, and how it comes to the end of the chain, etc. Coming to some, take the correct answers. The mountain range that separates Europe from Asia is the Ural Mountains. As I said, Europe. So EU. So there should be U in it, Urals. Second one, the continent of North America is linked to South America by an isthmus. So Panama. Panama is the place, is the name of the place that is the point between North America and South America. The major constituent of atmosphere by percentage is, yeah. So together nitrogen and oxygen form 99% of the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is in 1%, but nitrogen takes the lead by 73%. So 75 or 73%, something more than 70, just remember that. So nitrogen is the major constituent of atmosphere. The domain of the earth consisting of solid rock is called lithosphere. So solid rocks are found on the upper layer of the earth, right? It cannot be in the inside layer. So as I said, this earth is covered with three layers. One is the core, and then the mantle, and then the crust. So crust is on which we live. So lithosphere. Which is the largest continent? Asia. The second one is Africa, and the smallest is Australia. It is also the island continent, remember that. Fill in the blanks. The deepest point of the earth is Mariana Trench, which is 11,000 something in Pacific Ocean. The dash ocean is named after a country, Indian Ocean. The dash is a narrow contact zone of land, water and air that supports life. Biosphere. The continent of Europe and Asia together are known as Eurasia. Highest mountain peak of the earth is Mount Everest, and the largest range of mountains is Andes, which is in South America. So with this, we have come to an end of another chapter in geography. I hope you enjoyed this session. I will be back with another chapter. Till then, goodbye.